What's going on, guys? This is Nikhil from Mobox and I'm a new contributor to the channel, so I hope you enjoy my tutorials. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to create this clean and dynamic looking text reveal in After Effects. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into the video and get started. Alright, so here we are into After Effects. So first of all, I'm going to go and create a new composition. This is going to be our main comp, so I'm just going to rename this to main. 1920 into 1080, 30 frames and 10 seconds should be good enough, and I'm gonna hit OK. Then we can go ahead and start type in our text. So you can type in absolutely anything that you want to. So let's say I'm gonna type in my first text, that is minimalism, and we can just align this. By the way, I'm using the move anchor point script, which is absolutely free. So you can use it, it's really handy and useful as well. Then we can go ahead and just duplicate it by hitting Ctrl D on the keyboard, drag it down and make it an extra light. And I'm going to type in, let's say, something like clean maybe, and change the font size to somewhere around, let's say 70. Yep, that looks pretty good. And make it white. And we can just align this right over here. Then hit Ctrl D to duplicate it again, hold shift and just drag it right over here and type in your second text, which can be absolutely anything. So I'm going to type in, let's say, maybe I'll just type in dynamic. Ctrl D to duplicate it, and my third text or fourth text is gonna be, let's type in smooth. And then we can just manually adjust this like so. Put dynamic right over here. Maybe the text are just too big. Maybe I'll just make it to around 60 pixels. Yep, that looks perfect. Just align this right over here. And you can actually use the rulers. So hit Ctrl R to bring down the rulers, and we can just bring down the guides like so, just to be a bit more precise. Yeah, there we go, and I think we are good to go. It's gonna snap in. That's a really nice feature, so you can just turn on your snapping from right over here. So it's just gonna snap the font into the position of the guides. So you can hit Ctrl R to hide this. There we go, we have our text placed. Then what I'm gonna do is, before starting with the animation of the text, I'm gonna start animation with the stroke. So to do that, I'm just gonna double click on the rectangle tool. So it's going to create a rectangle like so. Go to rectangle 1, rectangle part 1, and unlink this. Change the width to somewhere around, let's say, 10 pixels and height to 150. So we have a stroke something which looks something like this. We select the stroke and just move it right over here by holding shift, and then we can start animating our stroke. So first we have the animation of the stroke scaling up. So I'll just rename this pretty quick to stroke. I can move the anchor point at the bottom and hit S to bring down the scale properties, unlink them. Then I'm going to go to 1 second, hit on the stopwatch to create a keyframe, go to very beginning of the composition and bring this down to 0. So here we have our basic animation. Then we'll go right over here at 1 second. We can get rid of the parent, we don't need to see that. And let's go to 2 seconds and drag our stroke right over here by holding shift. Oh, Ctrl Z, my mistake. Hit P to bring down the position properties. Click on the stopwatch to create a keyframe. Go to maybe around 2 seconds and 15 frames and drag our stroke to right over here. Yep, that looks pretty good. Then I'm going to hit Ctrl Shift D to split this up. So we have 2 layers of our stroke, that is stroke 1 and stroke 2. I'm going to select the stroke 2 and hit U to bring down all the keyframe properties and just get rid of all the keyframes. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the anchor point to the top like so. Then hit S to bring down the scale properties. Click on the stopwatch to create a keyframe. Go to 3 seconds maybe. Or let's go to 3 seconds and 15 frames and bring this up to 0 or down to 0. Something like that. So now we have a basic animation, which looks pretty lame at this moment, but we're gonna fix this. Hit U to see all the keyframes, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select all the keyframes and hit F9 to ease them. Go to Graph Editor, and first of all I'm gonna select this keyframes and drag them out like so. So we have a, maybe it's not working pretty good, maybe I'll hit Ctrl Z and just animate the keyframe step by step. So I'm going to select the scale keyframes at first, go to Graph Editor and just drag them out like so. So we have something like, I think this should be at 0. Yeah. So now we have something like that. Yep, that is doing pretty good. Select the position keyframe, go to Graph Editor and create kind of a peak. Something like that. So we have something like this. Then select the scale keyframes, go to Graph Editor and I'm going to create a curve like this one. Yep, that is looking pretty good. So let's check out our animation. Yep, I'm pretty happy with this, looking really nice. Now we can go ahead and create our track mat for our text. So to do that, I'm going to select my rectangle tool and create a rectangle like so. Make sure to align it in the center. And this is going to be our mat for the main text. So I'm going to just type in mat 01 and then I'm going to drag it right over here just behind our stroke layer or stroke shape layer. Just place it right over there. We can change the color so we can see it more properly. So we have right over here. Then I'm going to go and toggle my switches. If you don't have the parent option, you can just right click right over here, go to columns, and there we have our parent option. And then I'm going to parent my mat 1 to our stroke. So to just go and select the parent tool and just parent it to our stroke. So now it moves along with our stroke, something like that. Then we can just bring this above our main text, that is minimalism, and change the track mat to alpha mat. And now we have something like this. Really simple and easy to create. So far so good. Now let's go ahead and start animating our subtitle text, that is this one. So to do that, what we can do is, first of all, I'm going to go and animate the text. So I'm going to go to, let's say, maybe right over here. Select this 3 text, hit P for the position properties. Click on the stopwatch to create a keyframe. Go to, let's say, right over here, maybe 1 second and 15 frames, and bring them up like so. Now we have a basic animation. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-comp them. So I'm just going to select them, right click, go to pre-compose and make them tagline. So now we have our basic animation like so. Then let's go ahead and duplicate our mat. So I'm going to hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, bring them above our tagline and change the track mat to alpha inverted. Now we have something like this, but you can see it's not working the way that we want to. So what we need to do is select the mat 2, hit U. Select the mat 2 and just set the parent to none. Okay, it's not working. I don't know why. Oh, the mat is right over here, so I'm just gonna bring it into the center like so. Just align this just like so. So now we have something like that. It looks pretty lame at this moment, so let's go ahead and start to fix this up. So I'm gonna go into the tagline composition and displace the text by, let's say, maybe 10 frames. So now we have something like that, which is looking pretty awkward at this moment. So if you go back to our main comp, it's gonna look something like this. Now we can go ahead and ease our animation. Just hit U to see all the keyframes, select them, hit F9 to ease them, go to graph editor, select this side of the keyframes and just drag it just like so. So we have a really nice motion. See, looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll decrease the distance a bit less, so maybe I'll just move them to, let's say, 5 frames. Let's check them out. Yeah, that is looking really nice. Now we can go ahead and create a logo or a pop-up circle right over here. So to do that, I'm gonna go to right over here, select an ellipse tool, zoom in a bit and create a circle like so by I'm holding Alt and Shift, or you can also hold Alt, Shift and Control to create a perfect circle like so. And then you can just place it just right over there. Alright, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit S to bring down the scale properties and animate the scaling properties of the circle. So maybe right over here. Yeah, I'm going to create a keyframe, go back in time, set this to 0. So now we have something like that, as you can see, but I need to move this a bit down, so maybe I'll just move it right over here and displace the circle or move the keyframes a bit to the right. Yep, move it a little bit more. Select the keyframes and hit F9 to ease them. Go to graph editor and just move it right over there. Yep, that is looking pretty good, but the circle is not in the exact position. I'm going to move it a bit more. Just right over there. Now it should look a bit more better. Yep, that is looking really nice. Maybe I'll change the color to a dark pink as our text. I'm going to select this. So let's change this to dark pink. Yep, so that is looking pretty nice. Maybe I'll increase the distance a bit more. Now that was actually perfect, I guess. Just back a little bit. Yep, that is looking really nice. Let's just name this to circle. That is pretty good. Now you can add your logo or anything to this. So let's say I'm gonna add a text. Let's say I'll just type an M and make it bold and use it as our logo, but you can use the original logo as well. So maybe I'll just decrease the size to somewhere around there. There we go. Let's place it in the center. Yep, looks good to me. Make it a bit, maybe 24. Yep, that looks really nice. Now we can go ahead and animate the text as well. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the circle and use it as a track mat for our logo or for the text. So let's just name this mat 03 and bring it above our text. Okay, there we have it. Then I'm going to animate the text as well. So I'm going to go right over here, Select the text and hit P to bring down the position properties. Click on the stopwatch to create a keyframe. Go back in time and move it about like so. So now we have a simple animation of our text, and change the text track matte to alpha matte. So now we have something like that. It's just too much fast, I guess. I'm just going to displace them a little bit. We have something like that. Select the keyframes, hit F9 to ease them. Go to graph editor and just create kind of a peak like so. Yep, that is looking actually pretty good. Maybe displace this a bit more. Yep, that is looking really nice and sweet. And one more thing I would like to add is I would like to animate the main title as well a bit more. So to animate this, I'm going to go right over here. Select the main text, hit P to bring down the position properties. Click on the stopwatch to create a keyframe. Go back in time a bit to somewhere around there and displace them a bit like so. Maybe over there. So we have a little bit of animation which makes it look really nice, you know. So select the keyframes and hit F9 to ease them. Go to graph editor and just create kind of a peak like so. So we have something like that. Looks pretty good, I guess. Maybe displace this a bit more. Yup, that is looking really nice. So let's check out our animation. I think the circle looks pretty small. You can always, you know, increase the scale of the or the size of the circle and make it according to your requirement. So I hope you get the idea of creating this title animation, and I hope this was really helpful to you guys, and please do let me know in the comments section below. It will help me out a lot. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.